Alright guys, for this tutorial, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be placing an image behind our text. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got a nice bold text to start off with, because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to see the imagery that you place in the background of that. Right, so we've got our text and we're happy with it. So what we need to do is we need to hit a couple of shortcuts. So the first shortcut to create outlines is really simple. It's Control Shift and the letter O. So now, as we could see, we've created outlines, so the bounding box around our letters looks slightly different. The next stage is to hit Control and D, which will allow us to place our image. So we just find our image, we make that selection, we hit open, and then as we can see, our image is nicely placed into the background. So to move that around, we're going to use the direct selection tool, which is the black arrow beneath the selection tool, and then we're just going to choose an interesting place to have our image to make our text look that bit more snazzy. And that's it. Really simple, really effective, but don't, like with any design, don't overdo it. Less is more. So what's going on, guys? Alright, so for this I'm gonna show you guys how you can create some really cool evenly spaced custom grid lines for your document. So we're going to start off with some vertical guides. So if we just go here to our left, on the left hand side of our screen, we can see if we just left click and drag, then that will allow us to bring in vertical guides. Now if we select those just using our normal selection tool, which is this one here, and we click distribute vertical centers, then what that will do is that will distribute horizontal centers. What that will do is that will center, that will evenly space our grids from our center point, right? So between the two endpoints. Now if we were to take these first grids, or make sure our first grids are on the edge of our page, like so, then what that will then do is allow us to evenly space it for our document. So what's happening, guys? Alright, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with bounding boxes now, and text wrapping. So what we've got three elements. We've got this image of James Baldwin, we've got the title, and we've got some placeholder text. If you guys haven't ever heard of James Baldwin, I would definitely recommend looking him up, listen to some of his lectures, maybe read some of the books that he's written, some really inspirational stuff. Yeah, so moving on. So to start off with, let's get this text wrapped around this image, wrapped around this title. So all we need to do, really simple, we just need to select our text, bring it to where we want that placed. So we're going to place it right here on the corner, and simply hit the wrap around object shape box, and then we're going to hit X, and we're happy with that. We can readjust the size of the box also, just to bring the text slightly tighter to our image, to our title, and that's it. Really simple. But how are we going to work with this image? So let's bring the image in a little closer. Now we can do the same thing that we done, where we just hit the box, but as you can see, the box around this image is a square, so we might want it a little tighter, a little more snazzy. So if we go to our pen tool, exactly the same as what we've used before in Photoshop and in Illustrator, and we're just going to draw a custom irregular shape around our image all the way around, just adding anchor points as we go until we get back to the beginning. We'll see the little cursor gets a circle, and we're going to again hit wrap around text, and as you can see, the text will wrap around that bounding box. Now remember, it's not the image, so look, if we move the image, so we're just nudging it there with the key keys, but if we move the image, then the text doesn't necessarily move, because it's the bounding box that we need to be moving, right? So we need to make sure that we have that bounding box that we drew selected, and then we move that across. Alright, so text wrapping, very effective, but again, use it in moderation, right? Don't overdo it.